Hey there, thanks for clicking. This here's Joe Fritz, and we're going to do some more old sketchbook commentary. So here we go. So this is clearly just a mishmash of stuff. Shadow Man inspired something or other. It looks like me covered in Veve, because I was built like that back then with a serrated knife. Here's kind of weird, I don't know, artsy kid stuff, like, I'm so dark and, dumbass. I would have been so mad at myself if I'd have called myself that back then. Anyways, now I make fun of myself, because it's how I keep from crying. This looks like a weird Freddy Krueger looking guy. I was probably trying to work like a Freddy Krueger-like creature into Dungeons and Dragons or something. I think that was in a previous sketchbook. Here's a weird jester-looking guy with knives. Maybe Puppet Master inspired. I don't know. And then this guy, instead of having, this is clearly the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, or Leatherface inspired, but he's got like a weird chain mail apron, and instead of a chainsaw, he's got a crazy ass serrated butcher knife that's like all huge. I think there was a character in Diablo 3 kind of like that. So, yeah. So on this side we just have another gorilla. Over here looks like we have some D&D NPCs I came up with. Here's Wrath Ziggurath. He was a Spelljammer D&D character who was in. He would live in outer space, basically. He had a ship called the Skeeter, and he would fly around in it and have adventures. This is Xylo Castor, or Castor, as I was calling it back then. Obviously, he's a wizard. And then over here we have Ash Pollux, who was like his long-lost brother or something. Clearly inspired by Ash from Evil Dead, but since you can't have a chainsaw or a shotgun in medieval times, I gave him a crossbow and a sword. So there you go. He's even got a metal hand up here in the... This is like level 1, level 30, or something like that. I don't know, like this guy down here, level 30. Yeah, Wrath ended up becoming a battle ranger at some point. He trained to be a battle ranger. And, yeah, so there's that. Alright, so this looks like some more D&D characters. I have no idea what their names are. This one's clearly a druid, because she has a sickle. And this guy's maybe a wizard or something. Not sure exactly. Looks like she has a shillelagh, too. Which some priests and wizards have. This page is practically empty, except for a shocked-looking... a drawing of a shocked-looking person, just like, why am I unfinished and alone? Here's a, I don't know, like, when I was really young, like grade school, middle school, I used to draw a character who was like a unicorn centaur, like a cross between a centaur and a unicorn. The implications of which are kind of gross, but yeah. Here he is communicating with a big dragon. So yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool looking, I guess. And of course he had 3 fingers, like a Ninja Turtle, because I was drawing a lot of Ninja Turtles when I came up with this character. But I guess this was just me remembering, like, hey, I used to draw that guy, so let's draw him again, how I would draw him now. Which I actually do quite a bit when I'm just sitting down to draw. So I don't know. It looks okay, I guess. Now let me explain. There was a time when liking Insane Clown Posse was not a bad thing. It was just a part of like being kind of alternative. The Great Milenko album was incredibly good, and you shouldn't judge me for for liking it, because Great Milenko album was very, very good. I even think the Jekyll Brothers album was really good, and the Bizarre Bizarre albums were really good. Okay, I like some ICP songs, all right. And when I was younger and angsty, they had just the right amount of just goofball attitude and angstiness that I think that you weren't taking yourself too seriously when you were listening to ICP. So there we go. I wouldn't call myself a juggalo, but I definitely listened to some ICP back in the day. Great Milenko, though. I'm telling you, go listen to that album. It's really good. Alright. Try to straighten out the camera a little bit here. This was a character from D&D. I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but he was this big, undead-looking dude. I think it was a Devourer or something. But in the, I don't know, in the monster manual, it always shows him... it always shows that him, like hanging out of the rib cage, like he could just get out at any time. I like the idea of him being trapped in there. So it's like this giant undead guy, and then inside of him is like a smaller undead guy who's like trapped in there and in pain and like grabbing at the rib cage or whatever. So he's sort of like Decay from the Inhumanoids. So it's kind of like a character like that. But yeah, it's a fun D&D monster. It's a fun design. Here's a weird jester mask or something. I don't know. Sometimes I would just draw lots of like tribal type stuff, and I would try to make it look the same on both sides. I clearly wasn't trying to be asymmetrical with this one. I was just more going for like a tone or something. Not sure. Just drawing random stripes all over this jester mask for fun. This looks like I was drawing some slug. I don't know. There's a race in D&D that is like these frog creatures who come from the planes of chaos, and they have like random afflictions on them, and I was clearly drawing them. And this one is the one where they have sores that like vent like acidic like clouds of poison or whatever. I don't know. So that's kind of obsessed with it. They're almost like the Frog Brothers from the Ninja Turtles when they had their like frog cousins that lived down in the swamp, like Genghis Frog and Rasputin, stuff like that. This looks like I was trying to draw like some weird, my own version of a Gundam or something. Kind of a very Gundam-like design. I always liked the design on robotic Japanese characters, the way they design robots, but I've never been able to really replicate it myself. Mostly because my lines are almost never straight, so it doesn't create the effect of, hey, this is like a real three-dimensional object, or whatever, because my line quality is not as good as it should be. Although I suppose I could use a ruler, you know, but obviously these are like sketches I just did really quickly for fun, so. This looks like I was reading, like maybe a White Wolf, monster manual type thing, and this looks like an Ananse, from the White Wolf world, where they, you know, there's werewolves, and then there's like werebears and were-sharks and you know, whatever, and they all have different names and different abilities and different forms. This was Ananse. Ananses are spider people, so Yep. Vermicious Spriggan. This was a fun character to spring on people in Dungeons and Dragons. I kind of came up with him on my own, although a Spriggan is in D&D, but this is the version I came up with, where they're just these tiny little cute little guys. Look at me! And then they turn into just nasty teeth and claws, Incredible Hulk looking dudes. So that's a fun thing to throw at people. Like if you piss him off, he's like Peter Puppy from Earthworm Jim. Yeah. He's cute, but when you piss him off, he turns into your death. He turns into your death. So there you go. Here we have, I don't know, buzzsaw hand or something, and then weird little parasitic thing, maybe from almost looks like something out of Stargate or something, the TV series. And then this was a Nosferatu character I came up with for White Wolf, where he's like a fish man. I wanted to be Creature from the Black Lagoon in White Wolf, and there really wasn't a way to do that. So I thought, what if Nosferatu but Fishman? There you go. This is a robot character. Well, this one's clearly like Mega Man, and then I ended up making my own kind of weird robot, probably inspired by Shining Force. Shining Force always has like robots in it because the ancients used to use technology and whatnot. So, and then every now and then, some evil empire will unearth some of that technology and start using it again. And I think the idea was, this is the young and spry one, and then this is the broken down one that they tried to make look more human or whatever. That he's like his fingers are coming apart and he attacks people. It's clearly, I don't know. To me, when I look at that, I'm thinking I probably got that from Shining Force. Here they are again. Here's the young and spry one that was perfected, and he's the weird prototype. Maybe he's jealous of this guy and he's like plotting against him. I don't know. Write your own story. Submit it to me. Send it to paraptorkeet@gmail.com, and I don't know. So this is Knuckles, clearly. Looks like I got some Cheeto dust on the page. I bet you I got Cheeto dust on the page and then drew around it, because that sounds like something I do. Alright. Oh, speaking of, maybe that's not Cheeto dust. Huh. Did I get blood on this page? That's weird. I was a weird kid. Oh, I'm sorry to bring the room down. You know, that might just be Cheeto dust or pop, maybe. It's probably just pop. This was Triplash. I think he was just a character I came up with when I was a kid, because I really liked Triclyde from Super Mario Brothers 2, so I was like, I want my own. So, I don't know. This is again just me like, hey, I remember drawing that guy, let's draw him again. And here's another Paraptorkeet. Weird dragon dude, some dinosaurs fighting, some more dinosaurs. Looks like the 1998 Godzilla movie versus the real Godzilla over here, which eventually happened in Godzilla Final War, and I'm happy to say that Godzilla in name only got his ass kicked. Yeah. Although, I like that design. I have to admit, I like that character design. I liked the animated series that was based on it. I just didn't like that movie very much. I just didn't think it was very good. It was way too formulaic, and the formula wasn't Godzilla. The formula was some other monster movie. So yeah, there's that. All right, now here they are fighting. So I'm gonna go ahead and leave it off right here. On this page of gloriousness, and I'm gonna clear my throat and then come back and do at least one more of these today, because I record these all at once, and yeah, you get the idea. So again, thank you for clicking on this. I know you got a lot of choices when it comes to YouTube content, so thank you so much for joining me. Like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time. Thank you.